What's up, guys? Pypo here, bringing you to doing some Splendor in the Ancients action since Dwand instead of Strand. It's fantastic. But hopefully my videos will be looking better now than they did the last couple ones. I pretty much found out what was going wrong, which was just I simply turned off an option in the settings, and for some reason that one option was like the anti-scoping or some shit. I forget what it's called. But either way, that was the one thing that made me lag. And for some reason I mean graphical lag. And right now I'm just getting blown up. That was not fun. I'm actually lagging a little bit in game. 310 ms. Oh god, why does it shoots up as soon as I start making a video? But I mean, 310 ms to you guys, you Americans watching the video, you're probably like, that's crazy. But I usually play on like 200, so 310 is not too bad. Hopefully, I can make a video still for you guys. But what I want to talk about in this video was a topic that seemed I was actually honestly surprised that you guys wanted to hear more about this. I mentioned off topic in like a video about how my first time having sex, but when I lost my virginity, was horrible. I mentioned how like it was just a bad experience for me, and that I wish I didn't lose it when I was such a young kid, all that kind of shit. And when I mentioned this, basically people asked me like, how can it possibly be bad for a guy? Why was it bad? Tell us the story, blah blah blah. Since I don't give a fuck, I'm more than happy to tell the story. But I just wanted to let you guys know this probably won't be PG. So if you don't want to, if you're not like, honestly, I don't really give a shit if you're not over 18, because I'm talking about a story that happened to me when I was 15 years old. So I don't know. Just a warning. This is not going to be a PG conversation. But let's get straight into it. So I was 15. It was like the first girlfriend. You know, like you have those school girlfriends that aren't really like you see each other. You might hug each other if you're lucky, and that's it. Like there's nothing else. But I eventually got a girlfriend that actually was a girlfriend. I liked her. We went and spent time together. All that kind of shit. And then once we were done doing that kind of stuff, it eventually led to, why don't you stay over at my house, or why don't you stay over at her house, blah, 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 blah. We did that a few times, nothing happened. Obviously, I was 15 at the time, even though like I was already like a little horny fucking kid. I never thought to actually try and have sex with her. As fucking as that might sound, I never thought, alright, now I'm gonna have sex with her. Because in my head, I was like, I'm 15, I'm too young for this, and I assumed she wouldn't want to do it. And me being me, I never want to try and pressure someone into doing something. So I was like, I'll just let her, you know, I was like, let her come to me about it. I didn't want to like do anything like to instigate at all, because I thought I would fucking somehow scare her away if I wanted, like being too eager or some shit. So I didn't pressure in any way. And then eventually, just one day, we were at her house, and we were just, I think we were making out on our bed. And because, of course, because we're young kids, we're making out on our bed. Her mother's home, and her mother's told us that we have to leave the door open, and we have to do all that kind of shit, and she doesn't want any fishy business happening in the room. So naturally, that also kind of scared me off. I didn't want to like get my dick out and have her mother fucking walk past. That'd be fucking weird. That'd be weird. But the girl I forget what her name was, which is horrible. I feel like an asshole. How did I forget her name? Even if I remember her name, I probably shouldn't say it, should I? Either way, like her mother was every now and then would like walk past, and like the door over was her sister's room. Her sister was home, and it was just not a good place to try and like have sex for the first time. But she was keen. She was keen as fuck. Like for some reason, like she hadn't been keen. She hadn't said anything like for the past like week or 2 weeks, whatever. And just happened to be like right then. She was like, okay, this is a thing that's happening right now. And of course, me being the hornbag that I was like, okay, this is a thing that's happening right now. And because we are stupid, and I like just being a young kid, they don't teach you some shit that you need to know. Like at least for me, I was never taught that. For instance, one of the major issues: a girl needs to be wet before you should go sticking your dick inside of her. Like that's just the thing that you shouldn't be doing. And she didn't know this either. Like both of us were completely stupid as fuck. Stupid little kids that had no idea what the fuck we were doing. Which is, again, why I kind of wish I was a bit older, so I was, like, mature and actually knew some shit. But I guess the way you know shit's from doing it, so I guess, you know, maybe I wouldn't have known shit. Maybe I'd be, like, a fucking 25-year-old virgin and know nothing about sex. I don't know, that'd be weird. Either way, fucking, so we try to have sex. And basically what happens is, I just cannot manage to get my dick in at all. It's just not a thing that's happening. And not only that, I'm hurting her at the same time. But at the same time, the one thing that I did know was that for the girl, it's gonna hurt. So I'm like, maybe I'm doing it right, but it's hurting, and I don't want to hurt her. It was awful. It was really bad because I'm sitting there all awkward, like not wanting to hurt this girl, while at the same time trying to get my fucking dick in her, and it's just like this really weird, awkward situation. And eventually it led to us just being like, we're doing something. Like, we kind of came to the realization that like this is wrong. We were doing something completely wrong here, and we kind of just stopped, and she was in a lot of pain. She was like hurting a lot, and because basically I just fucking stabbed her a few times with this blunt object. Like what the fuck? I can't imagine what it'd be like for her. That sucks so much. Either way, we stopped, and we kind of like just that was it for about a couple days. And after those couple days, she decided, let's try again. And we tried maybe 2 or 3 times before I was like, fuck it, this is just not working. And after, like, I was like, fuck it, this is not working, like, we're doing it wrong. I was like, I felt like an asshole for, like, doing this to her. Even though it was her idea, I felt like an asshole. I was like, I'm super sorry, and I was super, like, upset and shit. I didn't want to, like, see, like, she was literally in pain. I felt so bad. So that's the first time in my head it clicked for some reason that, hey, why don't you just, like, please her instead of trying to get your fucking self off, you moron. So what I did, instead of, like, just fucking sticking my dick in, was actually, you know, I didn't go down, but at the time I didn't know going down on a girl was a thing. But at the time I was like, okay, I'll just finger her and like rub her clit and shit like that. And doing that was enough to, you know, kind of get her off. I don't know if she fucking had an orgasm or anything, but it kind of got enough to where she got wet. And when she got wet, it also again clicked in my head like, this, what the fuck have I been thinking this entire time? I've been trying to stick my dick in this poor dry girl. It's like, oh my god, Pypo, you're a fucking idiot. And then as soon as like I figured out that I need to get a girl wet before I fucking just try and go fucking rushing in like a moron, like yeah, it went fine. It went fine. But the first couple times, I don't know if that classifies as losing your virginity, because if that is, the first time I lost virginity was okay, I guess, because I actually figured out that she needs to be wet and it was fine. But if we count the other ones where it was like kind of nothing happened, but we tried and tried and tried, then it was awful. It was fucking the worst experience of my entire life. Not only because like I was hurting her, I was sitting there hurting a girl, but also because, like, I was naked. I'm a naked guy, fucking, I'm, like, embarrassed and shit. It's the first girl I've ever done this with. Luckily for me, she was cool about it, but, like, what the fuck? It's awful. Not only that, like, her mother walked past a few times, and we had to, like, pretend like we weren't doing anything. It was just, it was weird, man. It was just weird. And that's why I always say, like, I wish, like, I would have waited. Because if I waited, then fucking, at least, like, then I would have, you know, maybe known a bit more. I don't know, like, if I don't think school actually taught me anything. That's what it pisses me off about sex education, because like that's a piece of information I could have used. Anybody, just let me know that's a piece of information that, you know, would have definitely helped out a lot in that situation. And but yeah, I don't know. It also doesn't help. I think condoms. Condoms are fucking monsters. Condoms are monsters. That's just the thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you're watching this and you're a kid and you're a guy and you're gonna have sex with someone, wear a fucking condom. Especially, make sure you wear a condom. But it just sucks because there's something about a condom that makes it even like more. There's like more friction there, and it's just like it makes it even harder. And it's like, what the fuck? It's like it's just for some reason like absorbs moisture. It's like this weird thing. I don't know. But honestly, if you're gonna have sex for the first time, I recommend, like, you're probably gonna be nervous. But not only you get, like, a guy, it doesn't matter so much. Like, sometimes if you're extremely nervous, you can't, like, get erect. But for a girl, if you're extremely nervous, you're not even going to be able to get wet. You're going to be too worried about something. I think that's a lot of it, what it was for her, was, like, she was extremely nervous, and she was in pain. So, of course, that stopped her from getting wet, and that led to all the fucking bullshit. But I honestly wish, and, like, it might sound weird, that I had, like, lube or some shit. Because if I just had lube, like, the first, like, maybe 1 or 2 times, even though she wasn't wet, I would have been able to ease her into it. She would have gotten used to the feeling and like all that kind of shit, and would have been fine. Especially with a condom. Condoms, like, man, like, my god, it sounds like you need lube for condoms. They're just fucking. They're just not fun. They're not fun for anyone. That's it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. So yeah, I honestly recommend if you're watching this and you're a virgin for the first time you have it. It might seem weird, like especially to the girl who like doesn't know that much. Like she's like, why the fuck do you have lube? Why the fuck? Just explain to her that like. If it's your first time, this is gonna help a lot. This is gonna be a situation that helps, because it's kind of an actual misconception that the first time a girl loses her virginity, it's gonna hurt. It doesn't necessarily have to hurt. The act of popping a girl's cherry, it's a sensation for sure, but the thing that hurts them isn't actually like them popping the cherry. It's their fucking vagina getting torn up because you're fucking rushing there with your dick and it's the first time it's ever happened. Whereas if you were well lubricated, then it wouldn't hurt as much. And make sure you go easy. Holy fuck, make sure you go easy. If you're a guy, like, it's, like, honestly, I would definitely recommend to do what I did, which is get them off first. Like, just do that. Like, that's just the thing. What is that guy doing? That's C's engine. What is he doing? What the fuck is he doing? Is this just turned into sex ed with Pypo, where he's, like, telling people how to have sex, have sex for the first time? Honestly, it works, man. And, like, no girl is gonna fucking complain to you. Well, at least I don't think they will. They never complain to me. If I just, for instance, before we ever have sex, I make sure I please them first. Before I even consider going inside of them at all, I'll make sure to please them first. And then it also makes the sex more enjoyable for them because they're already super sensitive and shit like that. Then it's like, you're fine. You're doing some work. You're doing good. And that way, you know, obviously, girls, they say like they don't want sex as much as guys, and it's kind of true because a guy, like, you have semen basically. If it's almost like if you don't get the semen out, it's like it's an issue. It's like you're fucking like you literally can go insane. It literally will make you go insane if you don't like come a certain amount of times a week. Like I'm sorry, like this is getting extremely graphic or whatever, but if you do not like just get that thing out, it's almost like you become just angry. It's like you become angry, sad, emotional. Like it's just all of these, like just because like that one thing that you need to get done to remain like sane as a guy is just to get it out of you. But whereas a girl, it's like they don't need to do that to get those emotions out, but at the same time they still get that high, they still get that feeling after they fucking have an orgasm of like feeling awesome. There's so much like there's actually so many like really good things that come from orgasms, like medical things, not just like a good feeling and a good connection with a person, but like an actual health benefit. I think it's like it lowers your blood pressure, it makes you like less stressed, all that kind of shit, blah blah blah. Not only that, guys, when you make a girl orgasm, there's actually a chemical reaction that happens to their brain that makes them more attracted and attached to you. It doesn't happen for guys because for some reason it doesn't. But when you make a girl orgasm, there's always going to be this chemical, and it's completely medical. It might sound completely non-medical when I'm explaining it because I'm a fucking idiot, but there's actually a thing that a girl, when she's made to the orgasm, that in that moment she'll always have you in her head. It's just a thing. It's just a thing that'll always happen. So if you can manage to do that to a girl that you really like on your first fucking like time when you do this, you're in with a shot to actually be like someone in her life for a long time, because it's just something that, especially I've talked to so many girls where either they're old and they've had sex and they've never had an orgasm, and it's incredible to me that that's a thing. Like, how is that a thing? And I just think there must be like guys out there just fucking whipping their dicks around, being like, yeah, here it is, I guess this is what we do, here's my dick. It's like, what? Like, especially for me, it's not a thing where it's just me getting off. For instance, when I have sex with a girl, it's more about getting her off than anything, because that's attractive. Like, a girl having an orgasm is attractive because it's extremely sexy, and it makes me feel better as a man, you know what I mean? Like, if you make a girl orgasm, it's almost like you've done your job. Like, you've done it. Your job's done. You're free to fucking do whatever the fuck you want. You're done for the day. Well done, Mr. Pypo. You can go home, have a sleep, whatever. Like, at least that's the way I think about it. Whereas I'm guessing other guys don't. I guess other guys are just like, I guess I'm just gonna come in here. Is that okay? Like, what? No, like, look after your girl first, for fuck's sake. And it'll make for a happier relationship, honestly. It'll honestly make for a happy relationship. And a lot of times, it's hard for younger people because they feel awkward talking about it, or they just don't want to speak about it to their partner, and you're young, so you don't know if it's normal to speak to each other. Honestly, the best possible thing you could ever do, the best possible thing you could ever do is just be open and talk about it. Like, it might sound awkward at first, but just, you know, ask her what she likes. Ask her if she knows what she likes. If she doesn't, experiment with her. Find out what she likes. That's why, like, one-night stands to me never were attractive. Because one-night stands are just going to be your experience, her experience, coming together, that's it, gone. There's no two people, you know what I mean? Whereas, like, when you're in a relationship and you have a partner and you have had sex multiple times, you get better at it. You get better at knowing what she wants. She gets better at knowing what you want. And it's just it's so much better. And obviously, like, once you actually, like, get into a relationship where you love each other, which it's hard for me to explain this because I thought I was in love once, and I completely don't think it was actually love. It was just lust. But at the time, when I had sex with a girl, it wasn't just having sex; it was making love, and it was amazing. Like, it was a lot. Like, making love is on a completely different scale of, like, just having sex. Having sex is something where, you know, it might be the beginning of the relationship, or it might be a one-night stand, or whatever. But it's kind of like you're just dick goes in, dick goes out, like, that's it. Whereas making love is a lot more about pleasing the other person. And you might be like, well, isn't that like, I need to get off, like, whatever. But if you're trying to please her and she's trying to please you, then you're both getting pleased, you know what I mean? And there's nothing more attractive than a girl who wants to please you. There's nothing more attractive than that. But you can't just expect that of them. You have to make them want to do it. You have to make sure they're fucking taken care of. You have to make sure that this isn't a one-sided fucking relationship here, guys. You gotta make sure that they're taken care of, and they will be more than happy. I can guarantee you they'll be more than happy to do the same for you once they're taken care of. Don't expect them to just be the ones that take up the goblet. I mean, for fuck's sake, guys have it easy. Guys have it, like, so fucking easy. Mainly because it's fucking, you're fucking girls. Girls are like these magical, mythical, pretty creatures that are soft and nice and lovely, and it's all this, like, this is an amazing creature that has been birthed from the earth. It's like this amazing thing. And then the guys are this dirty, hard fucking things that are like just mean and rough. It's like they have you have the good end of the stick here. You're getting to like have sex with this amazing thing, and they have to have sex with you. They have to have sex with you, and they're doing it. So be happy. Be happy that they're doing it, and please them for fuck's sake. Don't go around thinking that just because they're with you, it entitles you to anything. I think that's a lot of times when like rape happens in a relationship is when a guy's with a girl and he thinks, all right, we're an item, we're together, we're in a relationship, therefore sex comes to me whenever I want. That's not the fucking case, man. That is not. Even though you're in a relationship, if she doesn't have sex and you do, that's a no-go. I mean, it has to be a consensual fucking thing where both you want it, especially she wants it. Like, for fuck's sake, it cannot be a one-sided thing at all. And that's a lot of times I think when there's like in relationship rapes happen is when this girl is like, no, and the guy's like, well, we're in a relationship. This is what happens. Like, that's awful. I don't know how that turned into like sex talk with Pypo, but you guys will fucking love it, I'm sure. Anyway, guys, I'm a little bit worried about asking about your first experiences in the comments, but if it's not too like, if it's not worse than mine, then go ahead. I don't care. I'll have a fun time reading it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, no, Pypo. Pypo, you're doing it. Come to your sentence, Pypo, now.